myself. I'm assuming you know, and that's not right. My name is Wendy Wesley. I'm a registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist, and I'm here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And today I'm going to make two recipes. And both in the air fryer. I'm going to make honey barbecue air fryer wings, very, very easy. And then I'm going to make a Parmesan coated air fryer zucchini. And air frying is fantastic. The oil, you'll see the oil we use is tiny. The barbecue sauce we're going to use is tiny. The honey, the little bit of honey we're going to use is small. The Parmesan cheese we're going to use is small. The idea behind air fryer cooking is like a convection oven, and convection is wind blowing around the food. Means the food cooks faster, because think about a cold day when when the wind is blowing, it feels colder. And so that hot air cooks things faster, and it's just basically an air fryer is just kind of like a small convection oven. A lot of us, if we have modern ovens, we have a convection setting, and you may have thought, well, what is a convection setting? But really, when you have an air fryer, you just kind of like a mini convection oven. I have done so much in my air fryer. My all-time favorite thing to do is potatoes. It was the first thing I ever had out of an air fryer, and I thought, this is incredible. This is so easy to make some potatoes. And if I have a little bit of time left over, I'll show you how to make some air fryer French fries really, really fast. And I've done chicken thighs and legs in the air fryer, and that takes a little bit longer. But these wings that I'm about to get going they cook for 15 minutes, not long at all. That's really not much. And then what I do is I take them out and I put the barbecue sauce and the honey on after they've cooked. Now, I've made the mistake of putting on the barbecue sauce and the honey in the beginning, and it burns, because the temperature inside the air fryer is so hot that it will burn the sugars in the honey and burn the sugars in the barbecue sauce, which is why you want to do it at the last minute. Take them out. We're going to coat them, put them back in for about 3, maybe 4 minutes. Got to watch them really. They'll crisp up real fast, because we don't want to burn that sugar. We want to cook the sugar. We want to kind of melt the sugar, get that Maillard reaction, which is what makes cookies and breads brown. It's when proteins and sugars brown and cook, and they turn brown and they turn lovely, and that's that great flavor that we love in cookies and breads and other things. It's that Maillard reaction. It's the cooking of proteins and sugars. So now, these are some wings I picked up at Publix today. They were on sale, and all of these wings, and this is a pretty heavy packet of wings, was $7.66. And I said to the butcher, I said, okay, are they connected? Okay, because a wing, it looks like a wing looks like a little leg. The drumette looks like a leg. It looks like a little chicken, it looks like a chicken leg. But it's actually the wing portion of the chicken, and they come connected. Now, when you go to, the Wing House or Hooters, they come to you separate. Here's a drumette, and then here's a wing. But as they come from the bird, they are connected, okay? And this is the wing that was on the chicken. Now, I've YouTubed how to cut these, and I just haven't figured it out yet, and I have struggled. And so what I said to the butcher was, are they connected or are they separate? He said, they're connected, but I'm happy to separate them for you. And I said, hey, score. So he took them in the back. He connected them. I asked him about the process, and he said, it's just, you got to know where to hit the joint just right with the knife. And I'll be honest, it is something I haven't mastered yet. It's something I want to master, because I want to just be able to buy a packet of wings, bring them home, quickly separate them, and get them going in the air fryer. But like I said, I've tried, and it's been hard. But I'm gonna master it. So the butcher has separated all of these for me, which is really, really, really nice of him. Publix will do nice things for you. And I don't really know that I can see the chat. So is there much in the chat? Megan, if you wouldn't mind, if there's a question in the chat, if you wanted to, come on and read it aloud, I would appreciate it, because the way I'm set up right now, I just can't see the chat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a couple of wings. I don't have a big air fryer. I'll show you the size of my basket. It's not a very big air fryer, and I did that on purpose because I bought this size on purpose because often I'm just cooking for two, and I wasn't sure if I was going to like air fryer cooking, and I didn't want to have a big appliance to store, and I didn't want it to be heavy. So I bought a small one, and so far it meets my needs cooking for two people. So here is my my basket, and I mean my grate, and then here is my basket. And for the most part, I have found that this size air fryer has been great for just cooking for two people. Now, if you're cooking for more people, 3 or 4 or 5 people, if you have a larger family, I do recommend that you get the larger air fryer. Okay, I am going to preheat it. The standard temperature on an air fryer is 400, and I'm just going to hit wings for 400, and I'm going to hit start. And so it's preheating for me right now. It'll come to temperature pretty fast. You may hear it. You may hear the motor in the background. So what I do is I'm going to take some drumettes. Let's do two drumettes and 2 wings. Skin on. We're going to leave the skin on. If you want to, after they're cooked, you know, pull the skin off. But I eat the chicken skin. I don't eat a lot of chicken skin, but when I'm presented with something like this, I do eat the chicken skin. You can pull the skin off if you want, but these will be, they're better if they're cooked with the skin on because there's some fat in the skin and that'll permeate the meat. It just tastes better. Let's see, how many am I going to do? Let me do, let's see, another wing and another drumette. So I'm going to do 3 wings and 3 drumettes. See, there's somewhere he didn't quite cut all the way through. Okay, all right, so what I do, very easy. I'm going to just add just a little bit of oil, just a little bit. Maybe that was a tablespoon. It doesn't take much. That's the nice thing about air fryer cooking. It does not take a lot of fat. That's kind of, maybe that's why I'm comfortable leaving the skin on, because I know my preparation is very light, doesn't require a lot of fat. I'm going to add some smoked paprika. This is a Trader Joe's product, and the reason I like it is because it contains no sodium. I have had some chili powders that have had lots and lots of sodium. I've ruined so many dishes because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, this is a powder, it contains no sodium. And I'm very heavy-handed with spices. I've always have been. And I'm unknowingly adding just hundreds and hundreds of milligrams of sodium to my food, ruins so much food. So I choose this paprika. So if you want to just, when you're buying some spices and you want them to be sodium free, just take a minute to make sure that it just truly is a powder and not a powder plus sodium. So this is paprika, which is just chilies that have been dried, and then this has been smoked and then ground up. So this is just paprika. Okay, I'm gonna add some, oh, that came out fast. Some paprika. I've got some onion powder. Now these got a little cakey. I think when I'm done with this, you can kind of hear them. They're kind of, oh, and my air fryer's ready. It just beeped at me. It's kind of, things get cakey. The onion powders and the garlic powders get kind of cakey, especially in this Florida humidity. So I think when I'm done with these, I may throw these away. This is just store brand Badia. I love this brand. I find it in the Spanish and the Latin part of the grocery store, and I also buy these spices at Save-A-Lot. So I'm going to add some, this is onion powder, again, sodium free. And the reason I'm not adding any salt to this spice mixture is because at the end, I will add some barbecue sauce, and this barbecue sauce has lots and lots of sodium. So for 2 tablespoons of this barbecue sauce, which isn't a lot, everybody 2 thumbs up, the volume of your thumb from like this knuckle to the tip, the volume is about 1 tablespoon. So the serving size of barbecue sauce is 2 tablespoons. That is not a lot of barbecue sauce, but there's 200 milligrams of sodium in just this much barbecue sauce. This, by the way, is also the serving size for peanut butter and mayonnaise and cream cheese and salad dressing. It is a standard serving size for a lot of foods that contain a lot of fat and a lot of sodium. Okay, so that's why I'm not going to add any spices to my, salt to my spice mixture, because the salt's going to come from this barbecue sauce. And then now I've got some garlic. You can hear them rattling. Here's that Florida humidity messing up our spices. Okay, so adding so garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika, all sodium free. Let me get, I can just use my tongs right here. And what I'm gonna do is just coat them. Now it's just a little bit of oil and the spices. And then once I have these coated in the oil and the spices, then they go into the basket of the air fryer for 15 minutes. Skin side up. I'm going to do skin side up. Okay. Flipping these around, trying to coat all of them. Okay. Excellent. Looks good. Okay, so let's pull this out. And let's put these in skin side. You can hear that sizzle. Woo, that sizzle when it hits that hot grate here inside of my air fryer. Whoa. Okay, skin side up, skin side up, skin side up, and there we go, skin side up. Back into our air fryer we go. Okay. All right, and there it goes. And I see it's set for 22 minutes, which is the total cook time. So I'm going to keep an eye on it for 15 minutes, so about 12:30. I'm going to pull those out. I'm going to coat them in my, I'll make that mixture right now because I have the things out. 1/4 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce, and that's it. This recipe could not be more simple. So here we go. I'm not one for measuring. I'm just going to kind of eyeball this. Okay. There's my honey. And then here is my barbecue. Let me give that a shake. Give that barbecue sauce. About 1/4 cup. Okay. Mix it up. And so when they come out in 15 minutes, I will put them back into this bowl, coat them with this mixture of honey and barbecue sauce, and then they will go back into the air fryer for just a scant 3 minutes because I don't want these sugars to burn. I don't want these sugars to burn. Let me set that aside. Okay. Now, set these wings aside. Now, what I did was I cooked 6, and I think it looks like I have maybe 6 or 7 left. I'll probably freeze these for another time. Because typically for me and my son, 6 is about what works. I'll have I don't know, 2, and I'll give him 4, and then we'll have something else on the side. Maybe I'll do some potatoes, or I'll do a vegetable on the side. Okay. All right. Okay, now let me get going on the air fryer zucchini. I got the wings going first because they take the longest to cook. But this zucchini doesn't take long to cook at all. Its cook time is maybe 6 minutes. It's very, very short. So I'm hoping that I can fill up all the time here. Because like I said, the thing about air fryers, I might have time to do the potatoes. I might end up just pulling some potatoes out of the fridge and doing those because I might run out of time. Because air fryer cooking happens pretty fast. Okay. Today I'm just going to do 1 zucchini. Okay, and with one of the most important thing with any kind of roasting or air frying or baking when you're doing vegetables is to try and make the pieces that you cut as uniform as possible. And this is so everything comes out nice and cooked evenly, because we can't cook a small little piece of zucchini and then a big piece of zucchini. That small little piece of zucchini might turn into a nothing, right? It might just shrivel away because it's so small under the heat. Meanwhile, the big piece of zucchini would not get cooked all the way through. So uniformity, when you're roasting, baking, air frying, any kind of vegetables, uniformity is very, very important. Doesn't have to be perfect. But just as you start to cut the zucchini, just be very, very mindful that uniformity is important. I'm going to give it a cut in half, and then I'm going to give it another cut in half. And then what I've done is I've created a nice flat surface. Can you see where? Oh yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I created a nice flat surface where I can cut safely because I'm cutting flat on my board. And so let's see, I've given it a cut. And I've got these 2 pieces. Now they're not One's bigger than the other. So my next cuts, I'll try and be a little bit more careful with these. But they're close enough. Like if I wouldn't want a big piece and then a tiny piece, because those would not cook uniformly. Okay, put those in there. Oh, that's kind of in the way. I just set that aside. All right, so here we go. Cutting hunks of my zucchini. The breadcrumbs and the cheese, when this cooks, gets kind of crunchy. And so this may be a nice way to kind of sell vegetables to your kids. This might be a nice way to sell vegetables to your kids, especially if they come with a little bit of cheese. And that's the beautiful thing about air fryer cookings. We don't have to use lots of cheese. We don't have to use a lot of oil, and we don't have to use a lot of breadcrumbs. The air fryer it cooks everything so quickly that things get nice and crispy and not mushy. You'll see when we're done that the zucchini kind of stands up. It doesn't get all mushy, and just one of my favorite recipes. Okay, I'm gonna cut off the end here. Can you hear my air fryer sizzling? I can hear the wings in there sizzling. Okay, down the middle, turn it flat, cutting flat. And if you're working with, you know what, zucchini is nice and easy to cut. And if you want to give your kids, I have them in my cooking bin, but I bought some plastic knives. They're kitty knives through Amazon. They were pretty inexpensive, maybe $8 or $9 for the whole set. Bunch of different colored knives. These are so easy to cut. If you wanted to get them going and then give your kids those safety knives and have them prepare some of the zucchini, or maybe not the potatoes, because potatoes require a little bit more work, but these are so easy to cut. There's so much science that said that the food that kids have a hand in preparing, they are more likely to eat if they had a hand in preparing it. So if you wanted to get your zucchini to this point, you wanted to give your kids a safety knife, a plastic safety knife, or even a pie cutter. I find that the pie cutters you get from the grocery store, like from Publix, are great for kids. They can't hurt themselves. It's big serrated teeth. I know you've seen the pie cutters that you get from Publix. If you didn't want to buy the kids' safety knives, just get a pie cutter from Publix and let your kids get in the kitchen and then whatever they do, don't be too critical. Support what they do, give them some guidance, give them some encouragement, and they will come back for more and more and more, and you'll turn your kids into cooks, and it'll be fun. And you have your kid make a couple of these cuts on these zucchinis, they'll eat it. They're more likely to eat it than if you just did it and then put it under their nose and said, here's dinner, go for it. So get your kids involved in the kitchen as much as you can. A Publix pie cutter is a great safety tool for kids. Okay, so again, making a cut down the middle and then some horizontal cuts. Very easy. Nice pieces. This is coming together very quickly, very easily. And I am going to have time for potatoes, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to do the potatoes. And then boom. And my zucchini has been basically taken care of. You'll see I'm working on a big, sturdy wooden cutting board. I do recommend big, heavy, sturdy wooden cutting boards. I was at IKEA the other day, and they had big wooden cutting boards for like $22. And I thought, oh, that is great. I do recommend that your cutting board stays out on the counter. I have found that when my cutting board is out, I am more likely to cut and eat fruits and vegetables because it just eliminates a step. I don't have to go down to one of my cupboards and lift this big, heavy cutting board out of the cupboard. It's always out. I keep it clean with a sponge. If it gets stinky, I take some of my coffee grounds, used coffee grounds, wet used coffee grounds from the morning's coffee, and I smear them all over my cutting board and I just let it sit for the day. And what those coffee grounds will remove those odors of garlic and onions, because sometimes I cook with a lot of garlic and onion, and so I'll be honest, my cutting boards get a little funky. Now, if I am dealing with raw meat, I will put down a plastic cutting board. I try not to cut raw meat on my wood cutting board. Everything else, go for it. I cut cheese, cut the cheese. I cut vegetables. I cut basically everything, even cooked meat. I will cut on my cutting board. But raw meat, I really try and stay away from putting raw meat and cutting it on my wooden cutting board. So I highly recommend you have one of these. Now this is my most expensive knife, and I'm telling you about it because it was a $40 knife. It is my most expensive knife. It is made by Victorinox, and it's called Victorinox, and it's made by Swiss Army. It is consistently rated one of the best knives on Amazon and on all these different places where you go. The ratings are very good, and I can see why. It's been a consistently fantastic knife. But the rest of my knives are not expensive knives. They are the white-handled knives. I think the brand is Dexter. How's my time? Okay, we're getting close to time. Are white-handled knives that I get at kitchen supply store, like a Gordon Food Service or a restaurant supply store. And those knives are anywhere between $13 and $17. So I'm telling you this because I don't want you to think you have to have a $300 or $400 expensive carbon steel chef's knives that's going to rust. Let's have just stainless steel knives that are not going to rust, that are not going to break the bank. Let's have a good, sturdy wooden cutting board and a knife that feels good in your hands, that doesn't break the bank, and you can be very successful in the kitchen with those tools. If you want to send them out for sharpening a couple of times a year, that's great. I know that Ace Hardware and some other hardware stores have sharpening services right inside the store, and they can get a blade on it like you wouldn't believe, and it'll service you for a long time. Okay, my air fryer is beeping at me. It's been about, it's not been quite 15 minutes, so I'm just going to leave it go for another 3 minutes, and then I'm going to take those out, put them in the bowl with my sauce, and then put them back in for 3 minutes. You see how fast things are happening? I'm just running my mouth and the food is already done. So let's work on my zucchini. So my oil, I'm just going to do again, maybe a tablespoon of oil. Not much. We don't need much. Maybe, well, that's about it. Maybe 2 tablespoons. Okay, not much at all. I'm going to do some garlic powder. I am going to add some salt. You know what? I'm not going to add salt because 2 of my ingredients that I'm about to add are breadcrumbs. They have salt, and the Parmesan cheese, that has salt. So here's onion powder, no salt. Excellent. I like to add a little bit of either oregano or thyme or basil. This is dried oregano. Very good. This is just regular old shaky Parmesan cheese, nothing fancy, just it's only 2 tablespoons. So 1 and 2, and then these are just some store brand breadcrumbs. Again, they do have salt, so I'm not going to add salt. There's 1 and 2. Okay. Get a big spoon. Mix it up. That's it. It smells nice. The Parmesan cheese smells cheesy. The oregano smells kind of pizza-y. And then, of course, I've got the onion and the garlic going. And I want to show these to you. This is what they look like before going into the air fryer, if you can see those. They're just lightly coated. Every piece of zucchini got a light coat of Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs and the spices, and then they're going to go into the air fryer. Okay. I think that my wings are ready to come out. So I have my mixture here of honey and barbecue sauce. That's it. Just a 1/4 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Could this be simpler? I don't think so. Let's pull this up. Oh, wow. I'm always amazed at how pretty the food looks that comes out of an air fryer. It's kind of hard to, can you see how pretty those look? Those look really nice. I'm always like, oh my God, it worked. This air fryer is fun. It's really fun to cook with. Okay, so using tongs, because they're very hot, I'm going to put them into my bowl. They're nice and crispy. They smell great. They look beautiful. They're not sticking, which is nice because when proteins stick, it means that they're really not done. but when they release, when proteins release, it means they are done cooking. That's a nice little tip. Another tip about proteins is if you are cooking them in a pan, resist the urge to move them around. Old Bobby Flay, the chef, says, let the pan do the work. And so you put the proteins, whatever you're cooking, a hamburger, if you're cooking some chicken fillets, if whatever you're cooking, just put the proteins into the pan and just don't fuss them. Let the pan do the work. I probably should have used a bigger bowl. This is kind of silly. I'm struggling here a little bit, but I'm coating my wings with the honey and the barbecue because they're so hot. The barbecue sauce and the honey is kind of melting a little bit, which is nice, which makes it better for coating. Okay, and then back into the air fryer they go. I'm not going to mind if they're skin up or skin down. I'm just going to put them back into the air fryer. Okay. Let them cook. We've got to keep our eye on them. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. There, I can coat that one. Coat that one a little bit better. I'm just kind of putting them back in the sauce to make sure they're really, really coated nicely. Okay, that looks great. Okay, back into the air fryer for 3 minutes. Okay, and away it goes. Got to keep my eye on the time. Let's see, how are we doing on time? So we are a half hour in. So you know what? I'm going to make some potatoes. That's onion. And then this is potato. I've got, you know what? I think I'm going to, no, I'm not going to do a sweet potato. I think I'll just do a couple of regular, I've got a couple of Yukon Golds. I'm just going to do a couple of Yukon Golds. Okay. Let me give them a quick little scrub. Of course, I'm going to leave the skins on. We're going to find good nutrients, good fiber in the skins. Let's leave the skins on. Just a quick rub, get the dirt off. That's it. Nothing crazy with my green scrubby. Just going to scrub them just a little bit. Okay. And again, just with the zucchini, the same kind of principle applies with potatoes. We want to cut them in uniform sizes because we want everything to be cooked at the same amount. And dry these off because I don't want any water to dilute the oil and the spices that I put on it. Okay? I'm going to dry the potatoes, skins on, good fiber, good nutrients. These are just some yellow Yukon Golds. They have a lot of spots on them. They're fine. They're fine. So right down the middle with my potato, I've created a flat surface. I can turn it flat, a cut down the middle, and a boom, boom. And I've got these nice chunks. I could also do them like fries if I wanted to. I'll show you that. So again, cutting flat, coming in with my knife at about 30 degrees, and I can make some fries. 2, and flip him around, and 3. So what I've done is I've created some nice fries, if you want to do it that way. So you can do chunks, or you can do fries. Okay, cut down the middle. I think I'll do the rest of these as fries. Coming in with a little angle with my knife, trying to keep everything uniform. All right, so let's see, has that been 3 minutes? I wonder if it has been 3 minutes. I think it has been. Okay, there's my fries. Let me get a nice white plate so you can see how pretty these are on a white plate. There we go. Here is a nice white plate. Let's see, how do these look? Woohoo, beautiful. Where is my, they smell great and they are not burned and they are sizzling. I forgot, I haven't made these in a while. I forgot how quickly these come together, how nice these come together, how pretty they are, how easy they are. This is an absolute, these wings are an absolute favorite. put these here, and I want to show them to you. I'm so proud. You see those? They're gonna fall. Come on. Can you see how nice those are? Anyway, very, very pretty. Nice lunch. Okay, let's get my zucchini going. So I've already coated it with the Parmesan cheese and the breadcrumbs. And so let me get this heated up again. So I'm going to stop. Okay, now it comes on and it's set for about 7 minutes. I'm going to let it get to temperature. That's important. You don't want to put this kind of cool to room temperature food in a cold oven. And that's kind of the same idea. You don't want to put cold food in a cold pan. So if you're cooking on the stovetop, it's very, very important that you get the pan nice and hot, because when that food hits the pan, you want to hear that sizzle. Whether it's a vegetable or a protein, you want to hear that sizzle. And again, don't fuss it. Let it just cook. Let those proteins cook. And don't, I know it's tempting to fuss around, but just kind of hold back, just like Bobby Flay says, let the pan do the work and get that beautiful, beautiful sear. Okay, we're going to let this come back to temperature. Put this zucchini in. Okay. So for my potatoes, I do, again, a little bit of oil. I'll do some garlic powder. I'll do onion powder. And a secret ingredient is I will use a little bit of mustard. Now, mustard makes the oil stick to the potatoes. So I will do just a tiny little squeeze. It could be yellow hot dog mustard. It could be Dijon, any kind of mustard. Mustard's one of those magic things. When I make a vinaigrette or a lemonette, I will often just put a squeeze of lemon in. And what it does is functions as an emulsifier that brings oil and water together. And it just makes the salad dressing stick better to the lettuce. And you don't want your salad dressing to fall off your lettuce leaves. You want it to stick to your lettuce leaves. Okay. So I'm going to start with just a little, you know what, I think I'm ready with my zucchini, so I don't want to have to wash another bowl. I just put this zucchini into the air fryer. Okay. Got that nice and hot. Zucchini goes into the air fryer. Hear that sizzle. Gonna try and keep it as single layer as possible. That won't be 100% possible with this zucchini, but single layer is very important when you're doing air fryer cooking. It's not a perfect single layer. It's not bad. Not bad. Okay. And into the air fryer we go. Okay. Starts right back up. I love that. Not even going to wash this bowl. Got a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of breadcrumbs. Who cares? It's fine. It's fine. So potatoes into the bowl. Quickly, I've cooked them. Cut them. Okay. A squeeze of Dijon, not much, maybe a tablespoon. Some oil, again, not much oil. Maybe a tablespoon, maybe two. We don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. I will add some salt because none of my ingredients other than my mustard has salt. So I'm going to add some garlic powder. Again, garlic powder, no sodium. Some onion powder. A little bit of onion powder. Again, no sodium. I like a little bit of oregano on my fries. I think that's kind of nice. It adds a little bit of color, a little bit of flavor. And I will add a little bit of salt. Okay, not much. And stir it up. So that mustard is going to help the oil and the spices stick to the potatoes. And these are ready to go. That is it. That is it. Now, if you want to do these in the toaster oven, that's great. It'll just take 2, maybe 3 times the amount of time. The air fryer is just such a great tool, especially after you've worked all day and you just want to cook some things nice and quick. And so I've got my my potatoes coated here with the spices and the mustard and a little bit of oil. You see how small the ingredients are and how fast it cooks. I swear I'm not paid by the air fryer people. I just think it's a great tool, especially after you've worked all day, to make some nutrient dense home cooked foods. The nice thing about this is, So these wings cost me $8. And these 2 potatoes, I don't know, maybe they were, 25, 30 cents a piece. That zucchini I bought was like $1.50. And then the rest of the ingredients are my staple ingredients. My staple ingredients are my spices and my oil and my mustard and my honey and my barbecue sauce. These are things that that's just a small list of staples that you should just always have in your pantry. If you'd like, I have a complete list of staples that you could keep in your house, which means you can always cook something for dinner. Always have something, because the only thing I really had to go buy today at the store was the wings and the zucchini. Those are the only 2 things I didn't have in the house. I always have potatoes in the house, and I always have every single other ingredient that I've done with you here today in the house, and these are just pantry staples. If you have pantry staples in your kitchen, you can come home and make something very, very simple like this and not open up that app to do the Uber Eats or the DoorDash. And I'm sure every now and then that's fine, but I work with a lot of people who are doing that 3 and 4 times a week and are spending $40 to $60 a pop. And monthly, it's coming out to a very, very, very big food bill in the hundreds of dollars. I worked with a young couple that was approaching $700, maybe $800 a month on Uber Eats and DoorDash, and they really wanted to buy a house. I helped them redirect some of that Uber Eats and DoorDash money into a fund called House Down Payment. They actually created a fund in their bank called House Down Payment, and they redirected a lot of that money. They started to cook at home with a lot of my recipes and techniques, and they stocked their pantry. They each lost weight, and then they were able to create this down payment, get going on a down payment, because they really wanted to buy a house, and they saw that money was going to Uber Eats and DoorDash. It was just kind of a habit that they developed during the pandemic, kind of being locked in, not being able to go out, hadn't really figured out grocery delivery, and it was just kind of something that they just kind of started to do. It became their way, and it was a habit and a behavior that they absolutely had to unwind, because it was just unsustainable financially for them, unsustainable, and it wasn't kind of getting them where they wanted to be with their life goals. And one of their life goals was to buy a house. So let's see how this zucchini is looking. Okay, I'm going to give it a shake. It looks very nice. It smells kind of pizza. It kind of has a pizza smell. I wish you could smell it, but it's getting kind of nice and brown. And it's not done yet because that zucchini is still firm. So I'm going to give it a shake, and I'm going to put it right back into my air fryer basket. Let's see, what else can I talk about? Usually things take me so much longer to cook that I don't have this kind of time, but I'm happy to talk to you about label reading, grocery shopping, anything like that. I talk about fiber till I'm blue in the face. Most people are, I think, focused a bit too much on, I need to add some time. Okay, just added some time. Okay. A lot of people are very, very focused on protein. They want to make sure they're getting enough protein, getting enough protein. I'm always trying to help people flip that script and to not so much talk about how much protein they're getting, because most of us are easily meeting our protein needs. Where we are often falling short is with our fiber needs. Now, both of these recipes I'm making today with these potatoes, and most people are surprised to hear that I'm a dietitian and I am on team potato. I'm not necessarily on team tater tot, like frozen tater tots that come, in already pre-cooked and deep fried. I am not really pro French fry, really, especially the kind maybe you would make at home. Why is this thing beeping at me? Okay, it's fine. Sometimes it beeped at me. I don't quite understand what it's doing. And but I am on team potatoes. So roasted potatoes, boiled potatoes, air fried potatoes, baked potatoes. Eat them. I always say, when you eat potatoes, do you eat 1 or 4? And everybody says, no, really, when I eat a potato, it's really just one potato. So I find that potatoes are full of fiber. They actually have, a medium potato has 6 grams of protein, and most people are not expecting a potato or a plant to bring that much protein to you. So they have, especially if you eat the skins, you're getting great fiber, great potassium, you're getting some calcium, you're getting some protein. I think for a long time doctors said, stay away from potatoes, and maybe I do agree with that when it's a big mound of deep fried French fries that are coated in ketchup that has a lot of added sugar. I don't think that's really health promoting. But if we're having an air fried or a baked potato like this with a little bit of oil, I don't see how we can go wrong. The other nice thing about potatoes, I find that they are incredibly filling and satisfying and familiar to people. And so if you put some air fried potatoes in front of people, they'll probably say, oh, these are great. These taste great. Thank you for making me some homemade food, some homemade potatoes. So that's another really, really nice thing. Let's see how our zucchini is doing. And then I'm going to pierce one with my knife and see how soft it is. Yeah, I think I want them to cook just a little bit more. They're getting there, but they're just a little firm for my taste. I'm going to pull one out and have it and see how the texture is. But I think I want them to cook for just a little bit longer. Okay. So I'm going to put this on my knife, and I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully, I won't drop it on my keyboard, my laptop keyboard. So here. Can you see how nice that kind of browned up? No, there it is. There it is. Now you can see how it kind of browned up, kind of nice. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think I want them to cook just a little bit longer. Protein needs for if you want to figure out your protein needs, if you have a computer, calculator, your phone right in front of you, really, really easy to do. You could take your weight in pounds and you can turn that into kilograms. And you do that by dividing by 2.2. And so this is the formula we used in the hospital. So you take your weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2, and you will come up with your weight in kilograms. And that is roughly the amount of protein that you need in a day. Roughly. That's a little on the high side. If you really want to get a more accurate, we always do proteins in a range. I take that number, your weight in kilograms, times 0.8. That's the low amount of protein you should have in a day, and then the high amount of protein you should have in a day is basically your weight in kilograms, grams of protein, your weight in kilograms. Just that simple. And most people will say, wow, I thought I really needed much more protein, and I really only need this amount of protein based on that formula I just gave you. I'll go over it again if anybody is interested. Now, fiber. Our fiber requirements per day are 25 grams a day for women and 30 grams per day for men. And most of us are not even coming close to hitting our fiber needs. And so people say, well, can I take a supplement for my fiber? I'd really rather you got your fiber from food, because when you eat food, you also get minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and protein that you won't get from a supplement. So where do you find fiber? You find fiber in all the plants. Most people, when they think about plants, they think, well, that must be like lettuces and spinach and bananas, right? But plants are also nuts and seeds. Plants are also beans. And so we often think of plants as the kind of plants that have pretty green leaves, but the plant kingdom is enormous. And so all the fruits, all the vegetables, every nut, every seed, every grain, rice, wheat, corn, quinoa is technically a seed, and then every single bean, all the beans are plants. So when you kind of look at plants from that perspective, and if you can figure out how to get a bit more plants into your diet, the fiber really ramps up. People come to me for weight loss all the time. They want to lose weight, and they're surprised to hear that I said, eat fat, eat protein. Let's cut added sugar, and let's get the fiber very, very high. So when we cut added sugar, We are not going around hungry and peckish all day long looking for that next hit of sugar. And when we consume foods that are very high in fiber, we go around nice and full, belly full. When we consume foods that have good protein, we go around belly full and we're satisfied, we have good energy, and we're not going around trying to hit that next hit of sugar over and over. And then that's when we see weight loss, is when people are not just always putting some ultra processed foods into the system when they're eating foods that are, I'm not going to say vegan or vegetarian. Obviously, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian. I'm about to have some chicken wings for lunch, but I'm also going to have some of this zucchini, and I'm going to have these potatoes. Zucchini is a plant. Potatoes are a plant. See, fiber. And with this air fryer, it makes it very easy to eat foods that contain fiber, that taste great, that have minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and you don't have to kill yourself. My goal with cooking and teaching people to cook is that I don't want my recipes to have any more than 4 or 5 ingredients. I don't want anybody to kill themselves in the kitchen. I want them to see, that's it? That's all you do? That is so easy. That's my goal with this. And I hope that you can take these 3 recipes, kind of walk away and say, man, that really was very easy to do. Not a lot of ingredients, and the majority of the ingredients, hopefully if you're keeping a stocked pantry, these things are already exist in your kitchen, and you don't have to go to the store to buy Parmesan cheese. You don't have to go to the store to buy honey, because it's already in the house. I'm going to scoot my my wings over so I can put my my zucchini, because I'm sure it's done. Oh wow, that got nice and brown. I'm going to put my zucchini onto the plate. Scooch my zucchini onto the plate. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Most people are surprised to hear this, but if a little ranch dressing helps the vegetables go down when it comes to your kids, that's okay. That's okay. I just want kids to become familiar and comfortable with the flavors and the sights and the textures and the tastes of vegetables. And so people say, can I serve some carrots with some ranch dressing? Absolutely. Whatever gets kids familiar and comfortable with eating vegetables, whether they're cooked or raw, please do it. Perfect is the enemy of good, right? So here we go. These potatoes are going into my air fryer. I'm going to try and do a single layer. So I'm kind of moving them around so I can get a single layer. These will take longer to cook than the zucchini, because potatoes have a lower water content. And so when food has a lower water content, it means it takes longer for it to cook, okay? So for instance, a carrot and a potato are root vegetables. They will take longer to cook than, say, a zucchini or a yellow squash or something like that. And it's because they're denser foods and they have less water. So the higher water content foods will cook like that. The lower water content foods will take a bit longer to cook. Okay, so here we go. Potatoes into my air fryer. There it goes. Okay, so I've got my wings. I've got my zucchini. All of this has come together. I've been doing this for 48 minutes and we are ready to eat. 48 minutes, we're ready to eat. Any questions? I've seen a couple of things in the chat, and maybe I ought to check the chat. Let me check the chat. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there's all kinds of things here. I'm so sorry, I've missed these. Let me look at these. Okay, someone said I have my wings already separated too. Very good. Oh, America. Okay, I'm reading from the chat. America's Test Kitchen does a good demo on cutting chicken. I love America's Test Kitchen. They're fun and they're kind of down to earth and they're real. I think they're great ladies. I'm gonna check them out. Thank you, because I watched a YouTube video. I thought I had it figured out, and then I just didn't have the technique. I want to get that technique. Have I tried the Instapot air fryer option? I have not. Is that an Instapot and air fryer option combined? That would be nice. I haven't done anything with the Instapot. Okay, here's another question, another comment. We have an Instapot air fryer, toaster oven style, and we really like it. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Because right now I'm just using a traditional toaster oven for. I'll make meatloaf in my toaster oven. I'll do all kinds of things in my toaster oven, especially in the summer. Again, another benefit of the air fryer is you don't have to heat up your big wall oven and heat up the darn house because the AC bills are killing you. They're killing me, or I'm sure they're killing you. So let's not heat up the big wall oven. Let's use these small appliances in the summer so we don't run up that darn AC bill. Okay, I've been reluctant to buy the air fryer or the Instapot, so an all-in-one is much more enticing. I do agree. So, someone says, we have the Instapot pressure cooker too. It's pretty awesome. I've done nothing with an Instapot. I really haven't. You know, it's old technology from the 70s, and what they did was they made them safe because they had some pressure cooker deaths in the 70s because the lids blew off and knocked people in the head and killed people. It's really the pressure cookers killed people, so they removed them from the market. And then but it's old technology, but it came back all kind of fresh and new with some safety features, which is nice. I know so many people love their Instapot. This is, I'm inspired to bust out my air fryer again. I don't know, many times I've considered giving it away, but I'm glad I kept it. That's nice. Yeah, I'm glad you did keep it. I do like it. Sometimes I get away from it and then I bring it out and I find it, oh my God, I love this thing, and then I'll use it. But I fell away from it for a little while. I don't like wings or legs. Will this work for chicken breast? Yes, definitely. So I'm glad I read that. I'm glad you brought that up because meats that have the bone in take longer to cook than meats that are boneless. So I'm thinking chicken breast is really going to be a very, very fast cook. Maybe 5 or 6 minutes on either side. Maybe 5 minutes, open it up, flip it, and another 5. I could be wrong, but I think that I'd be very careful with chicken breast with an air fryer because I think it would be very, very easy. Oh, my air fryer is telling me to turn my food. Okay, fine. You know what? It really hasn't been long enough, but I'll give it a shake. These are my potatoes. I'll give it a shake, and we'll go back in. All right, fine. It's talking to me. It's telling me I need to turn the food. So I'd be very careful with chicken breast because there's no bone in. Chicken breast cooks very, very quickly, and it can get dried out very, very quickly. So I'd be careful with that. But yeah, absolutely, chicken breast would be just lightning fast in here. And what you could do is you could just kind of do what we did, the same preparation, a little bit of oil, little spices, put it in, and just cook it for just a little bit of time, bring it out, coat it in your honey and your barbecue, back in, okay? But I would really severely reduce the cook time, maybe 5 minutes on each side. Okay, okay, and then someone says, I've done large breasts many times. Okay, so again, the larger the piece of meat, the thicker the piece of meat, the more you need to adjust your cook time. Chicken tenders would be, they may just get decimated in the air fryer, little chicken tenders. So this says, love my air fryer and pressure cooker. I use those more than my oven. It's kind of like having a microwave. Once you have one, you can't imagine living without it. I do agree with that. I don't have room for both. I must choose. Yes, that is a good comment. They do take up quite a bit of space, and then I store them in my pantry. Yep, I store this guy in my pantry, and I'm glad I didn't buy a bigger one. Like I said, I started small on purpose, and I'm really glad that I didn't buy a bigger one. I might not be as likely to use it if it was like this big, heavy thing. I just know me. I just don't like big, space hogging heavy things. I just know me. Let's see. I had to convert a linen. I had to convert a linen closet to a pantry because of all my cooking gadgets. Yeah. Well, you know what? If it means you're cooking at home and you're directing money towards vacations and cruises and maybe home renovations or a new car, let's stop giving all of our money to DoorDash and Uber Eats. Eat at home. You will eat more nutrient-dense foods, have more money in your bank account. You'll feel better, more energy. I can't say enough about home cooking. It really is my crazy passion as a dietitian, is to get people back into the kitchen and making simple, nutrient-dense foods that just don't kill them. Okay. Let's see. Thighs are one of the best pieces of chicken for the air fryer. due to its higher fat content. It won't dry out and is highly flavorful. I just recommend getting boneless with the skin on. Okay, I could not agree with that more. Something new in the grocery store I've noticed is our boneless chicken thighs. They never had them, and they do now. And now chicken thighs, wings, and legs are dark meat, and then the breast is the white meat. And the dark meat will have much higher fat. I typically tell people, I don't really want you to worry about fat. I want you to worry about added sugar. Added sugar, added sugar. Eat the fat. Let's be mindful of ultra processed foods and added sugars. Okay, there are paper or even rubber liners for the air fryers that make it easier for cleaning. Thank you for saying that, because I am going to have to wash this. I have found that washing my air fryer is not that big of a deal because the whole thing is non-stick and it cleans up very quickly. But I have heard of those liners. Let's see, what else? What are the cook time and temps for the potatoes? Oh, well, I'm doing everything at 400. I'll pretty much do everything at 400. And then my cook times for potatoes are a bit longer, like I said, because they are a lower water food. I'm probably going to do 10 minutes on one side and then 10 minutes on another for my fries. Okay. Because I cut my fries a little thinner, though, that means I can reduce my cook time because I cut them a little thinner. And instead of the hunks, I think the hunks are would take more time, and then the skinny fries, like I did, will take less time. Okay, let's see. Frozen to dinner in no time. I had them thaw a bit by cooking in the air fryer and then season, let them finish. Okay, very good. My air fryer is super small and cheap. It only has a timer. Is there somewhere where it lists times for cooking? Well, every single air fryer comes with a cookbook, and I learned so much from my air fryer cookbook. A general rule of thumb is meat with the bone in. I'm going to say 20 minutes, and I'm probably going to say the same for root vegetables, about 20 minutes. So that's your carrots and your potatoes. But a vegetable like this zucchini was done. It was quicker. I think it was like a 6 to 8 minute cook. It really wasn't that long, and it's because it's just such a high water content food. Let me pull these out and see how they're looking. Oh, they're looking nice. And then I need to pierce with a fork and see if they're soft. That's a little bit of too much resistance. So I am going to give them a flip and cook them for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes longer. My air fryer has pre-settings for different kinds of foods. I kind of ignore it, and I just kind of keep an eye on things. But generally bone-in meats, I'm going to give it 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, giving these a flip, back in, maybe just for a couple of minutes, and I have lots and lots of food for lunch and dinner. This is a lot of food, and this is going to keep me full for a long time. We are at 1 o'clock. Y'all have been a very nice audience, and I'm glad I was able to make a bonus meal because the air fryer is so darn fast. I had to make 3 things. That's because the air fryer is so darn fast. I hope that you can get into your kitchen, do some home cooking, not kill yourself with it. Get yourself a good knife, not an expensive knife, a big heavy wooden cutting board. Keep it out on the counter. Don't put it away. Keep it out on the counter. You'll be glad you did. Every time you cut on your big wooden cutting board, I want you to think about me and like, yep, she said keep it out, and that's the best thing ever. So I'll sign off now, and I thank you all. You've been you guys are always the best group, and I thank you all. You've been a really nice group. So y'all have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.